Good Friday afternoon to you from Manchester, which is today very nice. Blue sky, big yellow ball. Who knew? It's November. But hey, we're having better weather today than quite a lot of the days during the summer, or the so-called laughably summer that we had. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is something that's relevant kind of to all of us, but for a disabled or chronically ill person's point of view. And that chronically ill, disabled person is me. Holidays. Now, I know we've just said it's November. And I know you must be thinking, so what are you talking about holidays for in November, Stuart? Holiday season's gone. May to September. Long time ago now. Well, I always try my hardest to get away this time of the year. And this year is no exception. I'm going to try to go to the Highlands of Scotland. We're staying in Inverness and travelling right around the north coast and perhaps through the Kyle of Lochhalsh and go and see the Loch Ness Monster and perhaps go across to Mallaig and maybe across the bridge onto the Isle of Skye perhaps. Who knows? So what's the video about then, Stuart? Well, we all know two things about holidays. One, they're very important because we all know we're all here to have the best time we can, and that is important. Now, the best times kind of disappear slightly when your body kind of gives up on what it's supposed to do, which is work every day faultlessly and unarguably allowing you to do every task that you want to do in every 24-hour period. So something we all know about holidays again is that it takes quite a lot of organising. You're messing about for maybe a week before and you're deciding how you're going to get to where you go and how long it's going to take and what you're going to pack and that kind of thing. For somebody like me, who before I became ill, I've always been a little bit OCD, and I'm a very organised person. I always have been, I always will be, and I do believe, and I have been told, that you can tell kind of how organised I am by my measured way that I speak. I try to engage this before putting this into gear, knowing full well that what comes out of here has been well thought through in here, so hopefully it makes sense. Now, holidays. I booked this break in February this year, knowing full well that throughout most of the year I was going to be too ill. So I thought, well, what I'll do if I plan for right at the end of the year, it'll be nice as a Christmas break. Who knows, in Scotland might see even a bit of snow. Who knows? But I also knew that I needed all the time I needed to put the plans together to allow me to go. Now, it's very important to understand when you are ill that there are a lot of things that you need to put into place. Now, the reason I say this, a lot of ill people who are unfortunate enough to take a lot of medications will understand this. It is very unnerving. I can't think of another phrase, but I will use that one. Very unnerving to be away from your medication, especially if quite a lot of your medication, as mine is, for pain, let's say, for any extended period of time. You also know that when you're on holiday, you want to be doing things with your beloved, perhaps, as much of the time as you can whilst you're on holiday. Now, the downside of that, of course, is that doing lots of things is strain on my body, therefore that will result in pain, and I will just have to accept that that is how it is. So then we come back to being away from your medication. So the first thing on the list that I want to talk about is the organisation of ensuring that you have fallbacks of all your medication that you need. So I will always have, wherever we're staying, I will always have my standard medication that I can deal with throughout the day whenever I'm there. I also have fallback medication in my car. A wide range of stuff that deals with all my issues should I need it while I'm out and about. Now, the important thing then, of course, is that whilst you're, if you know where you're staying and you're not in your car and you're maybe just out trying to walk somewhere or do something or go for a spot of lunch, that kind of thing, what do? Well, I try to have, do you know the little pots that jam come in? Those, you get them in, B&Bs and travel lodges and that kind of thing. I try to collect those, and I have kind of 4 or 5 on the go at all times. And what I do, I make, just because my head is screwed, if I'm in lots of pain in the morning, I don't want to be faffing around sorting my tablets out, so I put them in these little pots. I put morning tablets in one pot for when I wake up. There's another pot for my lunchtime dosages, which I take at 1 o'clock every day. There's another one that I take for my evening tablets, which I take at 6 p.m. And then there's another one, the very last one of the day, which I take before I go to bed. So if I'm out and about, wherever I happen to be, I will take with me my lunchtime tablets with me. And I will have the security blanket, if you want to call it that, of knowing that I've got extra in my car should I need it. So what I'm saying here is that don't be stressed about your care, only be stressed about the organisational side of your care. So that will take away kind of one stressor, as it were. The other thing I hate doing is packing. I hate it with a passion, because that's just something else that you don't have to worry about if you never go on holiday, because you've got everything at home. You've got everything within easy reach, no matter what day it is, no matter what weather it is, it's all at home. So what do you do when you go away? And you know full well at least one of the days that you're going to be away, possibly in my case 3 days, you're going to be ill. You don't want to be faffing around with anything. So what do you take with you? Well, my advice is, because I'm not going out of the United Kingdom, I'm going to Scotland, and potentially the weather is going to be less than clement. It's the old phrase, there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. So I'm going to take with me just the basics: t-shirts, jumpers, all-weather trousers, a nice pair of trousers to go out in the evening, and a decent set of boots and walking shoes. And don't forget the old essential underwear. That's always a good thing. So again, very much like the medications, plan ahead. And more importantly, as far as the packing is concerned, do it over 2 or 3 days before you leave. Don't leave it until the last minute, because that will cause stress, and in my life, stress causes pain, causes illness. Not good. I think the problem is that I find it quite hard these days to get excited about going on holiday, because I know certainly this time I'm driving, and we're going, from Manchester. We're doing it in 2 jaunts. We're driving from Manchester to Dumfries, and then from Dumfries to Inverness. So right at the top of the country, pretty much. So it's about planning your journey as well. Never feel guilty about having to put a time limit on you having to be somewhere, anywhere. Just take your time, plan it out, because if you start putting pressure on your body and the mechanics of all this start breaking down, all the stress of arriving somewhere after a 6, 7, 8 hour drive, and you get out of the car and you're just broken, it's not worth it. So plan everything to the last degree. Break up your journey, even if it's only, a 150-mile trip, and you don't feel as though you can manage a 150-mile drive. Mine's further than that, but that's just my drive, and I'm banging it, stopping as near enough right in the middle, stay overnight, carry on again in the morning. Holidays are supposed to be a great thing. The older I get and the iller I get, the more stressful I find them. Solely for the reasons I've outlined in this. If there's kind of something that has a resonance with you, let me know down below. Have you stopped going on holiday? Because the sheer aggravation of being in your own home where it's safe and you've got everything close to hand, kind of the worry about leaving that gets in the way. Anyway, let me know what you think. Pop them down below in the credits, in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. I think if there's anything else you want me to touch on regarding this, because I think people who are ill, doesn't matter what's wrong with you, we all have the same concerns, because quite a lot of the time people who are not very ill don't understand. Thanks for watching. Please think about subscribing. We had a good few subscribers last month, which I mentioned in my last video. I've got a few ideas coming up for new videos. I've got them written down so I don't forget. If there's anything you'd like me to touch on, by all means let me know, and I'll do one of these about it. But please subscribe, and if you want to, press the little bell button, which will obviously notify you when one of these bits of nonsense comes up. So for now, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.